You know, I think there's a lot of like doubt and a lot of like self-reflection that goes into putting out records and touring. And it's like that job of being like, what am I trying to do?
Constantly.
Yeah. Does that resonate? Do you
Absolutely. Like every day, all day.
Yeah.
Constantly. It's like this little doubt. But dream, doubt, dream. Dream wins at the end of the day for me. But doubt is there all along the way. So I say it's pretty constant that as an artist.
Paying rent, I mean, that's the first box you got to tick. It's a big one.
Yeah, it's huge. And so when I first moved out, I moved in, as they say, shacked up with my first husband. And because we were and we aren't anymore. But we also had a roommate. And so we're all artists, and we divided the rent 3 ways. And I can go back through my journals. I won't look in here. But I can see where I wrote down bread, eggs, milk, rent, phone, you know, every single thing that I had to do. And then if there was something I wanted to do, like back then, it was, let's burn 100 CDs. I'm going to sell them out the trunk of my car. Well, how much is the CD? How much is the packaging for the CD? How much is the recording of the music? And, you know, write every single thing down and be like, okay, so I need how much? I need such and such amount. How many hours of work is it going to take me to do that? Oh, it's going to take me this many hours? Okay, well, there's not that many days in the week. How many years actually is it going to take me to do that?
Right.
And then start looking at things from a long perspective and then be like, okay, well, it's going to take me such and such years without a miracle. Always be open to a miracle. So all of that, put all of that into place and then call forth jobs. If you need jobs, call forth jobs, because artists, we need to have funds in order to do what we're doing. And sometimes you kind of got to get the wheel started yourself. And so
well, you got to front the money before anyone else does.
Or ask for someone to help you, you know. And in my case, I didn't have anybody. So then you just break it down and you be like, okay, well, my job at the coffee shop at the bookstore isn't working. It's not enough. I can almost cover rent. Let me pick up some tables that I'm waiting. Let me start cleaning houses. Let me work at the herb shop. How many hours is that I'm working a day? Oh, 12 hours? Okay. But I know what my goal is, and I want I need this many CDs so I can sell them out the trunk of my car. Once I get that money, turn that money over to get this many more CDs, sell those out. Once I get that, you know, and just have like these plans where it's like years. That's your life, you know, that you're always like, okay. And next.
The years that you're trying not to get distracted by that other stuff, because you start working at the pub or you start working at the coffee shop, like that's a life in itself. You make friends there, you start enjoying it maybe, or you know, you see yourself doing that. I mean, I've had jobs that lasted like 3.5 months, but in that moment I was like, this is me, this is what I do. So to try and think of myself to prioritize like playing music, which is also what I was doing at the time, I found that really difficult to kind of split the two and actually remember what I was doing in the first place and why.
Well, to keep focused, I have something I like to practice called the 10-minute rule. And that 10-minute rule is that I go back to my core of whatever it is that started me. Whether it's like 10 minutes of guitar, 10 minutes of banjo, 10 minutes of dance, 10 minutes of listening to music, just listening, 10 minutes to listen to the world, 10 minutes of yoga, whatever that is. Yes, we have all these other things going on, but whatever you really want to do in your life, if you can't dedicate 10 minutes to it times however many years, 80, 90, 70 years, however many years you live, then maybe you need to be looking at doing something else, you know?
That's a good rule.
That's the rule I like anyway for what I'm trying to do, because I found that those 10 minutes calculate and that I get to learn more about what it is that I was excited about from the beginning. I have so much respect, and I actually want to do something around the service workers of the world, because without them, we would be nowhere, first off. I got so much mad respect for a garbage truck going down the street or anybody taking care of us. So I am not afraid to be always working on my art, but knowing that if I got to get out there and collect garbage, then I got to collect garbage. The songs come to me. That's just how it is, and that's what I do, you know? I do it no matter whether it looks glamorous or if it doesn't look glamorous, you know?
That's the town I'd like to live in. Yeah. The town where people playing tunes at the bar on Friday night, the people doing the Doing the rubbish collection.
Right. They're probably the best songs.
Yeah, they got good stuff to write about.
Furry Lewis swept the streets of Memphis, and he was one of our best artists. 101. My favorite job has been working at Maggie's Farm. That was my favorite. That was the herb shop that I worked at for 7 years, and I learned how to do natural healing with pretty much any plant that you can think of. And I'm a plant lady. I love plants. I grow lots of plants. And I have so much respect for plants as our teachers and the guides, their wisdom. Trees are so much older than us. We can learn so much from them, and they can carry us and hold us, and we don't lean on them enough. They're there for us. Trees are there for us. I know it sounds crazy, but they are. We wouldn't be breathing without them.
Not this one though. That's fake. That one.
Oh, is it?
Is it? Oh, you can tell us.
It's real.
Is it?
Yeah. You hear that?
All right then.
And it loves this. It's getting the fluorescent light, so it's doing okay. It could be doing better if it got the real sun. Is this not real? Well,
I'd be surprised if that's real.
Well, probably isn't then.
I'm not the expert.
You know what? Why don't you try to taste a little bit?
Yeah, I will. Give me a munch on it. Be a little koala.
But you know what? If you eat, if you just go around eating plants, you're going to be in bad shape. You got to eat the ones that we're supposed to eat. Don't just be eating.
Because that is dangerous. You get the ones that give you rashes, ones that sting you.
Yes.
You hurt yourself? Have you ever hurt yourself?
What are you doing? Yeah, kind of. But since then, I don't go off the beaten path.
Yeah.
Stick to the path.
What's your happy place?
Well, I think my happy place, I have a lot of happy places. In different places where I travel, I find trees and I fall in love with them and I go back and visit them. And so I have a tree in New York. I have a tree in Tennessee. I have a tree in Delray Beach. I have trees all over. And so those are my happy places, but also my tiny fairy studio that I have in Tennessee. That's a happy place. Yeah. It's so small.
What does it look like? What does it feel like?
It's just everything wood and very, very small and tiny and right by the pond. And I can be visited by my little friends. Sometimes when it rains, I look out the window and I see the great blue heron walking so slow through the muddy water of the pond, just enjoying a nice slow walk. And then sometimes I'll see muskrats going crazy, just turning flips and just doing all kinds of weird things where I'm like, ugh, you're just the rat of the country. Because there's rats, of course, in London and New York and stuff, but these are the rats of the country there. And I'll get confused sometimes, is that a beaver or a muskrat?
Yeah.
Because they look a lot alike.
What's the biggest size rat that you've seen?
Biggest rat?
I've seen one like that.
Yeah, I have seen rats like that. Yes.
I don't want
Thank
to
God
happen again.
They weren't, in the house. When I was little, we did have one place where we moved to where there were rats like that. But luckily, we didn't stay there long. Yep.
Valerie, thank you so much for the chat.
Yeah, it was nice talking with you.
Good to chat. The new record's awesome. It's great. It's got such a great feeling. It's a springtime record. Yeah. It's sprung.
It's springing on Friday. That's what it's going to.
Cheers for watching. This is 101 Part-Time Jobs. You can find us on Apple, Spotify, and all podcast apps. We've done interviews with Aurora, Kneecap, Idols, Laura Maybury of Churches, and loads more. So tap into 101 Part-Time Jobs on Spotify, Apple, and all podcast apps.